Bag of spent grains. Big bag of 2-row. Yeah, this is what I brewed today. Calling it a pale ale. It seemed to fit in that description. Some of the leftover grains. My messy brew table. There's the yeast I'm going to use. This yeast was sent to me all the ways from Australia from my friend Vic. One of my brew buckets, that's where I crush my grain. Just crush it all into that bucket and then pour it into my mash tun / brew pot. Here is my brew pot. Right now I do not have a wort chiller, so basically fill up my bathtub with as cold water, as much cold water as possible, and just stir the wort in one direction, get the water going in the other direction to help cool it as fast as possible. This is a shirt that I just put under my pot so I wouldn't scratch up the bathtub, so my wife wouldn't kill me. There's the bag from when I did my mash. I need to wash it still. It's I do brew in a bag, so put it into that bag in my pot and just mash in there. And then I pull the pot out, I pull the bag out and start my boil and add my hops. This is my dungeon. Here's a blonde ale I have fermenting with the same yeast that I'm about to use. Here's what's left of my Cooper's Canadian Blonde that I added a few hops and a few specialty grains to. It was pretty good, so there's not much left. Here's an empty keg that this will be going into. My grain mill. I've only had it for a couple months, but I love it. I don't know how I did it before. Here's another fermenter that I haven't used in a little bit. Right now it's full of bottles. This huge these boxes here are all full of bottles. More bottles. Bunch of crafty cans that I gotta take back to the beer store. More bottles. My Carboy, my Mr. Beer fermenter. That's how I started. I did 2 Mr. Beer brews. They weren't too bad, but then I started doing Coopers and I like them much better. And now I do all grain brew in a bag, and I'm loving it. So, cheers, guys. New Fate 4 from the Brew Crew, 17 Brew Crew. Here's a blonde that I brewed a few weeks ago. Cheers, 17.